From Abandonment to Billionaire, How One Girl's Destiny Changed Overnight. Uplifting tales. The cold wind howled through the empty streets as darkness swallowed the once vibrant neighborhood. At the center stood a dilapidated house, its windows boarded up tight, like a fortress guarding secrets too heavy to share. A girl named Lily was about to discover those secrets, and her life was about to change forever. The air crackled with an electric tension, hinting at the extraordinary twist unfolding. Could destiny really be waiting behind those weathered walls? Lily had no idea how much her world was about to shift. She was an ordinary kid, with calloused hands from working odd jobs and dreams that felt like wild fantasies. But what unfolded that fateful night felt like a plot pulled straight from the movies, a legacy shrouded in mystery just waiting for her to uncover. As she pushed her way through the creaking door, the scent of dust and old wood mingled with a strange hint of something sweet, as if hope lingered in the air. She stepped into the dimness, her heart racing like a drum. Dust floated in the thin beams of moonlight that filtered through the cracks. It was eerie, like stepping into a ghost story. The walls whispered stories of the past, each creak beneath her feet echoing the uncertainty that churned in her gut. Her fingers brushed against an aged photo, its glass cracked yet revealing a smiling face she couldn't recognize, a distant relative, perhaps? A chill wrapped around her spine as she realized this place carried more than just memories. It carried her fate. Suddenly, the floorboards groaned, a low, mournful sound that echoed like a warning. What could possibly live in such a forsaken place? As Lily turned to leave, a glimmer caught her eye from the corner of the room. Intrigued, she inched closer, the weight of her hesitant steps growing heavier. Was it treasure? Or something far more dangerous? She felt her breath itch, the lump in her throat growing, as she reached out to grasp the source of that flickering light. Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. With trembling fingers, Lily pulled back a dusty curtain to reveal a hidden compartment, sparkling with jewels that seemed to pulse with life. Her heart thundered. A hidden fortune had been waiting for her all along. Just then, a distant noise halted her in her tracks. The shattering of glass echoed through the stillness, sending waves of fear crashing over her. Who else was here? Had her trespassing awakened something more? In that moment, Lily understood the magnitude of her discovery. It wasn't just riches that lay before her, but the key to unlocking a new destiny. Would she have the courage to confront what came next? And would the fortune change her life for the better, or unleash chaos she wasn't prepared for? She took a deep breath, her chest tight with anticipation. The glint of the jewels flickered like stars caught in a vast night sky. Lily's pulse raced as she grappled with the conflicting emotions swirling inside her. One moment, awe filled her, and the next, fear tightened around her throat like a noose. She had stumbled upon something truly extraordinary, yet the shattered glass echoed ominously, reminding her she wasn't alone. Just as she concentrated on the jewels spilling before her, a shadow shifted in the corner of her eye. Gripped by terror, she spun around, her heart pounding like a drum. The room felt alive, and every creak in the wooden boards transformed into a threatening whisper. "Hello?" She managed to breathe out, her voice barely breaking through the thick tension. Silence lingered, stretching out as minutes felt like hours. Then, as she cautiously returned her gaze to the hidden compartment, another sound shattered the stillness, a faint rustling, like someone moving through the remnants of this long-abandoned life. Was it a ghost? Or something worse? She shuddered at the thought. Lily's fingers curled around the edges of her discovery, clutching the jewels as if they could protect her. The colors twinkled under the moonlight, vibrant against the decay surrounding her. But there was something unsettling about the way they glowed, as if they held a heartbeat of their own, a pulse that matched her racing heart. "What do I do?" she murmured to herself, her breaths coming in rapid gasps. She thought of her empty room, the faded wallpaper peeling away, the dreams she had of escaping her old life. Could this fortune be the answer? Or would it only drag her into a nightmare? The rustling grew stronger, now coupled with a soft footfall. Panic surged, blood pounding in her ears. She had to decide. Was she going to risk everything and take this fortune with her? Fear of the unknown clawed at her insides. Suddenly, the door behind her creaked open with an eerily slow protest. The flickering light cast a shadow deeper than before, stretching across the floor like wicked fingers reaching for her. She held her breath, fear wrapping around her chest. In that pulse-quickening moment, two figures stepped through the threshold, their expressions obscured by the darkness. "Who are you?" Lily shouted, but her voice cracked, betraying her composure. The figures paused, and in the dim light, she could make out their faces a mix of intrigue and warning. "Lily, we've been waiting for you," one of them said, a voice smooth yet laced with tension. It sent a chill rolling down her spine. Her mind raced. Waiting? They knew her? "You shouldn't have come here," said the other, a woman with fierce eyes burning brightly in the dark. "You've disturbed something far greater than you can understand." With that, the tension shattered, and reality swung like a pendulum. The weight of her discovery now felt far heavier as the shadows began to converge around her. What of the fortune? What did they mean? "Run!" the first figure snapped. "You don't have much time." Lily's instincts kicked in. Fueled by adrenaline and fear, she darted toward the back door, leaving the jewels behind, heart wailing. Why had she come? A fortune wasn't worth her life, was it? Footsteps echoed behind her, the shadows closing in. As she burst into the night, the cool air hit her like a slap, sharp and revealing. But the chilling fear nipped at her heels. Racing against fate, she realized this was only the beginning. Because whatever waited for her inside had just scratched the surface of a far darker secret. What lay beyond the lurking shadows? And would Lily be able to outrun the destiny to which she had awakened? The moon hung high, casting a silvery sheen across the overgrown yard as Lily sprinted into the night. Each breath felt like fire in her chest, every footfall an echo of her panic. Shadows danced around her, teasing her with their presence, while she ran with a mind muddled by confusion and terror. Why hadn't she taken the jewels? Why didn't she stay to hear what they had to say? Heart pounding, she darted down a narrow path flanked by twisted trees, their branches clawing at the air like skeletal hands. The once familiar sounds of the night were transformed, the gentle rustling of leaves now a sinister whisper, the chirp of distant crickets sounding like mocking laughter. She felt them behind her, those figures, those shadows, pursuing her into the very depths of her soul. Every instinct told her to keep moving, but another part, a deeper one tangled in curiosity, screamed for answers. Lily skidded to a halt in a small clearing, her breath misting in the cool air. She pressed her hands into her knees, trying to steady herself while glancing back down the path. Nothing but the rustling trees met her gaze. "What do they want?" she whispered to herself, wrestling each word from her throat like stones. "What did I awaken?" Something flickered in the corner of her eye, and she quickly turned, half expecting to see the figures emerging again from the shadows. Instead, it was just a glimmer, a reflection, like the jewels she had left behind. She hesitated. Part of her was drawn to it, the sparkling mystery promising answers, even as fear pulled her in the opposite direction. Then it hit her, those jewels weren't just shimmering stones. They were somehow tied to those figures, to her. They represented something far more significant than wealth. Maybe the woman with fierce eyes had been right. She had crossed a line. "Lily!" A voice broke through the night, cutting like glass. It was distinct and bizarrely familiar. Her heart dropped as she recognized it. It was Claire, her childhood friend, the one person she hadn't spoken to since moving away. "Claire?" she called, both hopeful and terror-stricken. Emerging from behind a thick tree, Claire looked ghostly pale under the moon's glow. "You shouldn't be here. You have to leave now. They'll come for you." "What?" Confusion painted Lily's features. "Who are they? What do you mean?" "They're not just shadows. They're people who want what you've found. You've awakened them, Lily. It's not just a treasure, it's a curse. Lily shook her head, disbelief mingling with the chill that raced down her spine. A curse? You can't be serious. Before Claire could respond, the hairs on Lily's arms stood on end as a sudden breeze rushed past, whispering a warning. Instinctively, she turned back, scanning the edge of the tree-ling. She felt that there was something, or someone, creeping closer, its presence oppressive and dark. "Oh God," Lily whispered, gripping Claire's arms so tight that her knuckles turned white. "We have to go," Claire urged, eyes wide with urgency. "We don't have much time before they find us." But where could they go? The thought twisted inside her brain like a maelstrom. "Lily, listen," Claire urged again, there's a place, a safe haven. "But we have to move now." Without another word, they tore into the depths of the woods, branches whipping at their faces, fear urging them forward. But even as they ran, Lily's mind whirled with unanswered questions. What was the truth behind the jewels? What curses had she unleashed? And would she ever be free of the shadows trailing her like an indelible stain? As they plunged deeper into the darkness, the shadows began to close in once more, relentless and determined. What awaited them at the end of their frantic flight? Would they find safety, or had Lily's life just begun to implode in a way she never thought possible? Branches snapped under their feet as Lily and Claire raced through the thicket, fear igniting every muscle in their bodies. The underbrush clawed at their legs, but they pressed on, desperation lending them strength. Each gasp of air tasted like terror, thick and acrid in the back of Lily's throat. "Why now, Claire?" Lily managed between breaths, trying to keep her fear at bay. "Why aren't you the one running away? You should have been here earlier." "Don't. This isn't the time," Claire shot back, her voice urgent but strained. "I never wanted to be here again." "My family? Your family what?" The question lingered in the air like a curse waiting to be spoken. "Let us just keep moving," Claire insisted, her eyes darting back, searching for something in the dark that chilled her to the bone. But Lily's heart was pounding with more than just fear. It was the rhythm of their past colliding with a terrifying present. Memories flickered in her mind, their childhood adventures and Claire's untold family secrets. Suddenly, a piercing sound shattered the night. It was an eerie chant, echoing in waves that seemed to originate from the depths of the forest itself. A chorus of whispers, moans, calling for something. Panic gripped Lily's chest, squeezing tightly. "We're not alone," Claire hissed, and they quickened their pace, the forest closing in around them as if trying to swallow them whole. Lily forced herself to look back, half expecting to see red eyes glowing in the darkness, or worse, those figures closing in, gaining ground with agonizing certainty. "What do they want from me?" Her voice wavered, hitching with fear. "Your blood. Your connection." Claire's words were sharp, urgent. "Connection? Why? What does that even mean?" Lily's mind spun in disbelief, struggling to comprehend the weight of Claire's revelation. "This isn't just about you. It's about the jewels, they're a key." Claire's voice trembled but forced urgency into each syllable. "We have to find the refuge." It's the only. A blinding flash erupted in the shadows before them. Lights danced through the canopy, illuminating faces that they couldn't comprehend, figures made of shadow and starlight, faces twisted in expressions of rage and desperation. Lily stumbled, catching herself against Claire. "What are they?" "They look trapped." "Just like us," Claire yelled. The fear in her eyes mirrored Lily's own dread. "Their fate is tied to you now." Every instinct within Lily screamed to run, to flee deeper into the forest. But curiosity gripped her like a vice. "How can I be tied to them?" Before Claire could answer, the shadows surged forward, their movements unnaturally silent. The air thickened with weight, a breath heavy with darkness and intent. "Run, Lily!" Claire screamed, yanking her forward, and they sprinted once more, their shadows swirling behind them, almost alive. But as they navigated through the maze of trees, a feeling of dread loomed over Lily. What did it mean to be the key? Why couldn't she escape the sinking sensation like she was heading toward a fate woven tighter than she could see? In the distance, the flicker of a light flickered like a lighthouse in the storm. It seemed to promise safety. Was it their refuge, or a trap set within the shadows of the night? Do you see that? Claire shouted, pointing toward it. Yes. But what if it's worse? Lily, we have to trust. No matter what's waiting. It's got to be better than what's behind us. With their minds racing, they bolted toward the light, the forest howling around them. But would they step right into the mouth of danger? Or would they find the haven that Claire spoke of? A deafening roar echoed behind them. The shadows were gaining. They were out of time. But there was something else lingering in the air, a promise, a whisper of hope. Would they reach safety before it was too late? What awaited them inside the light? The light grew brighter as they pushed forward, illuminating the chaos of the forest around them. Every step felt like a race against fate, with the shadows clawing at their heels. The chant intensified, morphing into a cacophony of voices, a discordant symphony echoing the anguish of something far greater than they could comprehend. Lily, don't look back. Claire's voice cut through the noise, sharp with urgency. But every ounce of Lily's curiosity craved to turn and uncover the dreadful source behind them. The very fabric of the dark seemed to ripple with intentions, dark promises held within its depths. The brightness ahead was no longer just a beacon, it felt alive, pulsating with energy. As the trees parted, a clearing unfolded before them. It was a breathtaking sight lit by an ethereal glow. Flowers bloomed in hues that defied reason, their petals shimmering with phosphorescent allure. But beneath the beauty, an undercurrent of dread entwined meshily with the air, heightening each heartbeat. Is this it? The refuge? Lily gasped, her voice breaking at the edge of hope. It has to be. Claire pushed ahead, barely pausing to take it in. But as they entered the clearing, an odd stillness enveloped them, almost peaceful but dripping with tension. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath their feet. A dull thud vibrated through the earth, causing Lily to stumble. She briefly glanced back, and her stomach sank. From the shadows emerged the figures, twisted and distorted, like tortured spirits with faces trapped in torment. They advanced slowly, relentless in their pursuit. Lily's voice faltered as fear coiled tight around her throat. They're coming. We need to go. Wait. Claire grabbed her arm, pulling her to a stop. We can't just run into it blindly. The light had felt safe. But what if? Before she could finish, the glow intensified, and a figure materialized within it, a woman, ethereal, her movements fluid like water. She stood at the center of the light, radiating both allure and menace. You seek refuge, she intoned, her voice smooth as silk yet embedded with power. But what will you sacrifice to remain here? Sacrifice? Lily echoed, her heart racing, mind racing to discern the possible choices looming ahead. Your fear, your memories, your connection, the woman continued, her gaze piercing into Lily's soul. Choose wisely, for the shadows will offer you nothing but despair. What do you mean? Lily found herself stepping closer, drawn to the woman in a way that terrified her. What must we give up? The screeching chant behind them crescendoed, drowning out their thoughts. Claire tightened her grip on Lily, her eyes wide with realization. We can't trust her. What if it's a trap? Listen, Lily, the woman's voice unfurled, soft yet commanding. Your destiny is intertwined with theirs. Choose to embrace your power or continue to run. The shadows are not merely evil, they seek resolution. Resolution? Lily's mind raced. What did facing her fears even mean? A lump formed in her throat, the idea of relinquishing parts of herself felt both freeing and suffocating. Lily, we can't stay, Claire urged, panic creeping back into her voice. Whatever she's promising, it's a lie. We have to leave now. But the allure of the light and the woman's offer lingered, pulling at Lily's desire to understand. Were they simply pawns in a game of fate, or did they have a choice? The shadows surged forward, their figures looming larger, the fate they whispered no longer a distant concept. Time was slipping away. The clearing held answers, but exactly what they were remained shrouded in mystery. Lily! Claire's voice became a frantic echo. We have to decide. Caught between two worlds, the light and the shadows, Lily felt her breath quicken. What lay ahead was unknown but echoed with opportunity. Could the woman lead them to the salvation they desperately sought? Or would they condemn themselves to a greater peril by remaining here? With each second slipping through her fingers, the question rang in her head: what was she willing to sacrifice to grasp her destiny? The fabric of her reality twisted, and the shadows were nearly upon them. As they teetered on the brink of choice, a singular truth exploded in her mind, piercing through the chaos. The moment of truth had come. What path would Lily take? The woman's gaze held a magnetic pull, urging Lily to step closer. The ethereal light shimmered around her like a cocoon, promising safety. But behind them, the shadows groaned, a ragged chorus of anguish that prickled Lily's skin. Time was running out. Lily, please! Claire's hand gripped Lily's arm tighter, nearly pulling her away. This can't be real. It's too perfect. Her voice quivered, desperation saturating each syllable. Lily froze, her thoughts jumbled like a storm. She wasn't used to being in control. Fear often dictated her choices. But something stirred within her, a glimmer of courage fueled by the chaos. She had to decide. What will it be? Fear or power? The woman posed, arching an elegant brow, prompting Lily to confront the very foundations of herself. Release what holds you back. Maybe we need to, Lily started, but the words fled when she noticed Claire's horror-stricken face. She fought the urge to follow the woman's call. The shadows slithered closer, their whispers clawing at her sanity, promising to unravel her. Are you really willing to give up everything? Your memories could haunt you. Claire's breath hitched, worry flooding her eyes. You might never find your way back. The chant crescendoing into a maddening pitch, shooting tendrils of panic through Lily. What did she truly fear losing? The memories of her late father flickered before her muffled laughter, advice like hidden treasure, the warmth of his embrace. Could she walk away from that? The ethereal woman frowned, sensing the struggle. Reclaim your power, Lily. Your father would not want you bound by fear or regret. Embrace what you are meant to become. Those words struck a chord deep within her. Her father had always urged her to face her fears, to stand tall. Defiance was her blood. And yet, this woman seemed to mirror her desires, twisting them into something almost sinister. In a swift motion, the shadows surged forward, clawing at the edges of the clearing, their disfigured faces contorting in anguish. Lily! Move! Claire shouted, yanking her back, urgency sharpening her voice. Yet, the moment she took a step toward the woman, toward the light, a wave of warmth enveloped her. The colors danced brighter, wrapping around her like a lover's embrace, drowning out everything else. Make your choice, Lily! The woman urged, voice echoing with timeless authority. Suddenly, Lily could see flashes of her life, the moments that had forged her into the person she was. The pain of loss. The joy of fighting back. This was more than a chance for survival. This was a reclamation of everything. Let us do it, Claire! She cried, feeling the pulse of the light deep within her. Let us face what we've been running from. But before she could fully commit, a screech exploded from the shadows, a sound raw and desperate. The figure surged forth, drowning out her thoughts, a tide of despair rushing toward her. She's ours. The whispers transformed into a chorus of anguish, clawing at her heart. You can't escape your fate. Lily! Claire screamed, pulling her back to reality, but it was too late. As the shadows closed in, she was seized by the light, the woman's presence enveloping them both in a brilliant embrace. And then the world shifted, twisting in a kaleidoscope of energy. The face of the woman shimmered, morphing into facets of 1,000 voices, each revealing pieces of truth and despair. The clarity of light plunged her into darkness, breaking apart the fabric of what she thought she knew. Lily! Claire's voice faltered, caught in the web of shifting dimensions. The light shattered, and in the chaotic dance, a single thought promised both doom and salvation. You must choose or be lost between two worlds forever. Then came silence, an oppressive stillness, enveloping them like a thick fog. Had they made a grave mistake stepping toward the light? Or would the shadows claim them, as tremors of uncertainty coursed through her? One solitary question hung in the air, echoing with the weight of decisions yet to come. What if this was not the end, but only the beginning of a darker journey? The silence was suffocating, wrapping around Lily and Claire like an industrial shroud. Fear slithered through the air, thick and palpable. Where was the woman, the light? The brilliant glow that had promised so much sank into the gloom, swallowed by the shadows. Lily! Are you okay? Claire's voice broke the tense quiet, but her tone bore an anxious tremor. Lily turned to face her, heart racing. I think so. But her voice felt small and lost. Suddenly, the ground vibrated beneath their feet, sending shockwaves through their bodies. Both girls instinctively closed their eyes, bracing for whatever would come next. When they opened them, they found themselves in a vast, gray void. The shadows encircled them, whispering secrets that scraped at their minds. Stay together, Claire shouted. The words came out as a thin thread of resolve woven into tangible fear. Remember, we stick together. An echo of laughter rippled through the void, cutting into their hearts. The haunting sound was followed by a low growl, a warning from the shadows. Something threatened to pull them apart, to swallow them one by one. We can't let it. Lily gripped Claire's hand tighter. It felt like a lifeline, something real in a spinning world filled with despair. We have to find that light again. The woman! Claire gasped. Where did she go? With renewed determination, they called out for the ethereal figure who had promised them power, who had stirred something deep within their souls. But the only reply was the cackling laughter, growing louder, malevolent. Fools! The voices hissed, you cannot escape your fate. You've chosen the path of despair. This is where you belong. No! Lily shouted, refusing to let the words sink in. Memories of her father flickered through her mind. His warm embrace and the thought of him urging her to rise against fear flooded her heart with heat. I won't let them take us. Suddenly, a sharp wind howled through the void, and from the depths of the shadows, a single beam of light pierced through the dark. It illuminated a path, shimmering with the promise of hope. Look! There! Claire shouted, pointing at the radiant glimmer. Run! They sprinted toward the light, the shadows swirling violently behind them, fighting to drag them back into the abyss. But as they moved, the whispers blended into a deafening symphony of rage. You think you can escape? You can't outrun yourselves. With every step, Lily could feel the tug of the past pulling her away. The happiness she fought for now intermingled with memories of her father's disappointment, his belief in her potential, and her own fears that tripped her up. Keep going, Claire urged, straining against the pull of darkness. Lily's legs felt heavy, and doubt crept in, suffocating the light. I don't know if I can make it. Yes, you can. We have to fight for it. Claire's voice rang like a clarion call, urgent, fierce, a beacon that cut through the storm. Lily nodded, summoning every ounce of strength. For my father! She cried. Finally, just as the shadows lunged toward them, they burst into the light. The world around them exploded into colors, vibrant and overwhelming. The radiant woman stood before them, arms open wide, an inviting smile illuminating her features. Welcome, seekers! She exclaimed. You have chosen wisely. But even as their feet hit solid ground, uncertainty loomed. What was this new place? Was it truly a salvation, or another trap in the guise of beauty? Lily! Claire's eyes widened in disbelief. What do we do now? Are we safe or just at the edge of another danger? The woman smiled, but her eyes flickered ominously. Everything comes at a cost, my dear. You have yet to understand your true power, and the shadows will not let go so easily. As the colors of their new surroundings shimmered, a chill swept through Lily's spine. She could feel the truth looming just beneath the surface, something sinister awaiting its moment. What have we unleashed? She thought, panic seizing her heart. In that moment, Amidst the flashing colors and the warmth of light, doubt and fear started to claw at Lily. Once again. As bright as the future seemed, shadows still loomed ahead, and the question that burned in her mind as a fog of uncertainty enveloped them lingered like an unshakable whisper. What if this was just the beginning of something far more treacherous? Lily blinked, her eyes adjusting to the overwhelming brightness that surrounded them. The landscape pulsed with vibrant colors, but each hue felt tinged with distortion, a dissonance that made her stomach churn. Claire, standing beside her, looked equally bewildered. "What is this place?" Claire whispered, a tremor in her voice. A garden of vibrant flowers and towering trees spiraled into the horizon, yet the air felt stale, as if it were holding its breath. Each petal, though radiant, appeared to quiver with a foreboding energy, a paradox of beauty and dread. The woman stepped forward, an enigmatic figure who seemed to shimmer like the light around her. "Here you will learn," she said, "the true depth of your powers." "Powers?" Lily echoed, hope mingled with fear. "What do you mean?" The woman's smile faded momentarily, replaced by a serious glint in her eye. "Apprehension can cloud the way forward. This world reflects the strength of your souls and also your doubts." As she spoke, the air thickened, almost crackling with electricity. Lily felt a pull and urging deep within her to explore, to understand. But shadows hovered at the edges of her vision, whispering doubt, threatening to unearth her insecurities. Suddenly, the ground trembled beneath their feet, forcing both girls to stumble. The flower petals wilted instantly, shriveling as though despair had touched them. "What is happening?" Claire cried, eyes wide with terror. "Darkness feeds on uncertainty," the woman explained, her voice urgent. "If you want to be free, you must confront what you fear." A ferocious wind began to whip around them, howling and shrieking. The shadows twisted into monstrous forms, snarling and reaching out with gnarled hands as if to drag them back into the void. "Lily!" Claire gasped, her grip tightening. "We can't let them take us." Lily felt a surge of anger amidst the fear. "We didn't come this far to give in," she shouted, but doubt clawed at her heart. "Face it," the woman urged, stepping closer. "What holds you back? What fear defines you?" "I don't want to fail," Lily burst out, raw emotion spilling over. "I don't want to become my father's disappointment." The woman nodded gravely. "Then take it. Take your fear, and reshape it into strength. Use it." Lily's breath quickened, realization dawning. Was that all it took? To own her fear instead of running from it? With newfound determination, she stepped forward. "I'm not afraid of failure. I'm not my father's disappointment, I am me." The shadows screeched, writhing in annoyance, their shapes morphing into frightening visages. But as Lily faced the onslaught, the radiant light within her surged brighter. Claire echoed her sentiments, shouting alongside her. "We're not afraid. We are not our past." The shadows recoiled, howling in rage as the light gathered strength, pushing back against the encroaching darkness. A brilliant wave radiated from the two girls, enveloping them in warmth. "Good!" the woman exclaimed. "Embrace your power and your truth." Lily's heart surged. She felt connected to Claire in a way she hadn't before. The fear inside her began to dissolve, replaced by a fierce will to fight. But just as the shadows melted away, a chilling presence emerged from the depths of the garden. Darker than the void, it glided forward, its form shifting like smoke. The air crackled ominously, the scent of ash filling her lungs. "Did you think you could banish me?" a chilling voice whispered, smooth and cunning. Lily's heart raced as she realized the shadows weren't just remnants of her fears. They were sentient, alive. "Who are you?" Lily demanded, her voice trembling. "I am the shadow of doubt you cannot escape," it hissed, "and I am just getting started." The colors around them began to dull once more, and gloom seeped back into the garden. Lily and Claire exchanged glances, anxiety flooding their minds. What new peril had they awakened, and could they truly conquer it? The chilling laughter echoed around them, and the answer hung ominously in the air. Only time would tell. The shadows coiled and twisted around them, a dark storm swirling with malice. Lily felt Claire's fingers digging into her arm, both of them rooted in fear, and yet a flicker of defiance burned in her heart. "What do you want from us?" Claire shouted, desperation lacing her voice. The shadow figure laughed again, a sound like breaking glass, chilling and piercing. "I want nothing more than to watch you fall apart. Each step you take towards strength only deepens your failure." With each word, dread seeped into Lily's mind. Would they really succumb to this darkness? She could feel it clawing at her thoughts, digging up the insecurities she fought so hard to cast aside. "I know you," the shadow continued, its voice a silken caress. "You are nothing without your fears binding you. Without them, you are lost, you're nothing." "I'm not lost. I have Claire," Lily insisted, her voice rising above the chaos. "And I'll be damned if I let you control me." A gust of wind slammed against them, pushing them back. She stumbled but steadied herself. Claire's triumphant shout pulled her from the brink. "We've come this far. Together." With a surge of energy, they stood side by side, heartbeats synchronizing, channeling their unity into a radiant shield of light. The darkness hesitated, wavering before the brilliance they had unleashed. Together, Lily murmured, feeling the strength of their bond coursing through her veins. A warmth spread, flooding her with courage. She could feel the shadows retreating, their presence faltering as their light grew stronger. "Together," Claire echoed, voice firm. "We choose to fight." Suddenly, an eruption of colors burst forth from their combined wills. The air shimmered as the shadows struggled against this newfound harmony. But it was enough. The shadow of doubt was vast and ancient, a beast with many faces. "Pathetic," it snarled. "You think this mere light will save you?" "No," Lily replied, breath steadying, her resolve hardening. "But we are not done yet." In that moment, memories flooded Lily's mind, the laughter of her friends, moments of triumph and joy. These weren't just shadows of the past. They were her foundation. Her fear transformed into a weapon. With a fierce cry, she reached into that well of inner strength. "You don't define who I am!" she shouted. The light expanded, a brilliant gold, illuminating every corner of the garden. The petals perked up as if in disbelief. "Leave now, or suffer," Claire chimed in, echoing Lily's intense energy. Fury ignited within the figure. Tendrils of dread lashed out in wild abandon. "You cannot banish me, children! I will linger. I will always be a part of you." In a sudden snap, the light surged violently forward, colliding with the shadow. There was an explosion of blinding brilliance, a shockwave resonating with their unified voices screaming, "We are our own!" Shards of darkness shattered like glass, spiraling away into oblivion. In an instant, the garden was alive again, colors vibrant and bright, each hue singing triumphantly. But even amid victory, an uneasy silence hung in the air, like the calm before a storm. The victory felt incomplete. Lily and Claire breathed heavily, hearts racing as they searched the horizon. Was that it? Claire wondered, hope mixing with trepidation, and then, from the center of the garden, a new presence stirred a pulse of dark energy, far deeper and more furious than before. Lily felt a chill creep down her spine. "It's not over yet." The ground trembled again, but this time, it felt deliberate, almost like a warning. Shadows began to stretch and sway around them like serpents ready to strike, defying their victory. "What now?" Claire whispered, uncertainty creeping into her voice. "Whatever it is, we face it together," Lily replied, her heart racing. But would their bond be enough to challenge what loomed beyond the horizon? The tension hung thick in the air as the shadows coalesced, ready to reveal their next strike. The ground trembled ominously beneath Lily and Claire as they stood among the vibrant flowers that pulsed with energy. The shadows swirled around them, undeterred and more menacing than before. "We can't let fear take hold again!" Claire shouted, her voice strong despite the tremors. Lily's heart raced in her chest like a wild drum. She felt powerful yet exhausted, the recent battle still fresh in her mind. The memory of the solid warmth of their combined light gave her strength. "We're not powerless," she asserted, gripping Claire's hand tightly. "We faced the truth and came out stronger. We can do it again." Together, Claire echoed fiercely, determination shining in her eyes. They stood firm, drawing on the light within them, allowing their fears to fuel their resolve. Enough! The shadow figure hissed. It emerged again, darker and angrier, a colossal serpent made of the very night, its voice resonating like thunder. You think you can defy me? You've only begun to scratch the surface of your pain. The shadows cackled, creeping closer, their twisted forms a threatening reminder of doubt. Steeling herself, Lily stepped forward. We may not have all the answers, but we'll never let you control us. She could feel the flickering light inside her surge with her passion, igniting her spirit. Release the weight of your doubts, Claire urged, her voice electric with urgency. We have the power to reshape our fate. With a deep breath, they focused on the memories that grounded them, laughter from their childhood, cherished moments with friends, and the love they shared. Each positive image grew brighter, intertwining with their determination, creating a radiant barrier against the darkness that swirled threateningly. In that moment of clarity, something extraordinary happened. The grounds began to vibrate as the joy they cultivated expanded outward, infusing the air with an undeniable light. Feel it! Lily shouted, her heart racing as the energy enveloped her and Claire. Let the doubt flow away. The darkness writhed, twisting and contorting around them. Its voice turned hollow and furious. You can't run from the truth forever. But Lily wasn't looking to run. She was ready to face it head on. We will face our fears, she thundered back. With Claire by her side, they called forth their light once more, unleashing the warmth and brilliance that had ignited their spirits. The shadows recoiled, their screeches echoing through the garden, battling against the vibrant force they were creating. Flowers swayed, their brightness amplifying the struggle. Lily, the light is alive! Feed it! Claire shouted over the cacophony, urging Lily to push harder. Digging deep within herself, Lily released a cry of empowerment, tapping into the strength of her past, the love of her father, the strength of her friendships, the very essence of who she had become. You will not take us! With that, she and Claire thrust their combined strength forward, a surface of luminescence overwhelming the darkness. A brilliant shockwave bursting forth, shattering the last bonds that tied them to the shadows. Lily and Claire watched in awe as the dark figure twisted and erupted like a firework, scattering fragments of darkness into nothingness. The atmosphere shimmered as if the universe itself breathed relief. But just as quickly, the calm that followed was tainted by an unsettling chill. The ground quaked beneath them, the harmonious colors shifting into shades of gray. The space around them rippled, and strands of darkness began to weave back together, gathering and reforming. It's not over, Claire gasped, fear creeping back into their reality like a creeping fog. The light around them dimmed, and a poignant silence echoed through the air. The radiant woman emerged from the remnants of the shadows, her countenance grave yet knowing. Your battle was vital, but remember, darkness will always seek to reclaim what it lost. You have been tested, but the greatest challenge still lies ahead. What do we do now? Lily whispered, uncertainty sinking its teeth into her spirit. The woman answered, embrace who you are meant to be. Your journey is not just about fighting the darkness outside, it's about conquering the fears within. Only by facing them can you end the cycle. As her words settled, Lily felt something shift inside her. There was warmth, a flicker of hope igniting within, and fear began to lose its grip. I won't let it control me anymore, she said, her voice steady with newfound resolve. I'll face everything. I have Claire, and that's enough. We'll find our way together, Claire affirmed, her eyes glistening with determination. With that promise resonating in the air, the shadows once again twisted threateningly on the horizon, but this time Lily and Claire stood hand in hand, grounded in their strength. They were ready to face whatever lay ahead, and together they would break free from the cycle. As they turned toward the unknown, the shadows shifted and lurked, but the bond they forged illuminated their path. Together, they would challenge the darkness, and every step forward was not just a step away from fear, but a stride toward a destiny that embraced them both. As they moved forward, heartbeats synchronized, they stepped past the remnants of doubt, and into the light, a new chapter unfolding, one crafted not just by fear, but by hope, strength, and an unbreakable bond. And now, we need you. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories that are about to unfold. Smash the like button now to feed the algorithm and help us grow. Flood the comments section with your reactions and theories about this ending. This is your moment to share your thoughts. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. Only true fans know how vital your support is in our journey. Let us keep the adventure alive together.